why am I with someone? That question has to be asked. If that question has been honestly asked and reasonably answered, then you cannot go wrong. Whether you marry or not, whether you remain with someone or not, and mind you, these are not really permanent decisions to be made. This is not something that gets etched on stone. There might be a phase of life then when it's really important, even holy, to be with someone. And then comes a time when it's better for both of you to grow a little independently of each other. Right? So anything is possible and welcome as long as the intention is right. And the intention, I'm repeating it, has to be to make the best use of life, to grow to your fullest potential, to not really to look behind and repent. One has to be totally into life. One has to be responsible, one has to understand, one has to have a certain depth, and from there comes joy. And to such a person, bad relationships are very unlikely to happen. Even if by dint of circumstances he or she lands into a tricky relationship, you can rest assured that the fellow will be able to bring some health to that relationship. But yes, obviously, if it is the norm, if it is a widely prevalent condition that 95% people who do anything, including choosing a partner, are doing it in sheer ignorance, then we very well know that the remaining 5% would be better off. The remaining 5% would be better off, as the quoted report says, just because the 95% are acting in very unwise ways. Are you getting it? It's like this. The analogy will probably work for you. Fasting is better than eating contaminated food. Getting it? So better than having stale food, bad food, is to have no food at all. And when a society has come to a situation that bad and stale food has become the culture, the accepted norm, then probably the ones who eat very little are relatively the healthiest ones. That's what your report is saying.
So it reflects more on that marriages are unhappy,
yes,
rather than being single.
Yes,
is the way
yes,
to
yes.
happiness.
And when I say that, I am not against staying single. I'm just saying that being born in a human body, it will not be possible for you to really not relate to anybody. I do not know what the term single really means. Does it mean abstinence from the socio-legal institution of marriage? If it means that, then obviously it is possible to stay single your entire life. But in the more practical terms of life, nobody can really remain single. If you are with someone, even for a dinner or as friends, colleagues, whatever, then you are not really single. You are in a relationship. Aren't you in a relationship? Relationships need not always be romantic. They need not always have that angle. But you are always relating with someone or the other. Right? We must have the sense to relate properly. We must know what is it that draws us to the other person. And if we smell something foul there, then we must have the wisdom, the guts, most importantly the honesty, to call the whole thing off.
smelling the foul. Where do you draw the line? How do you know that this is where I'm drawing the line? Beyond this, I'm not going to be relating to you, because we have that expectation that people will change.
See, there are telltale signs. You have to understand this. And some of what I'm now going to say might sound odd to you. So just bear. You have to see what the other person has started meaning to you. Has the other person assumed some kind of a larger than life importance in your eyes? Ask yourself, if someone else were to objectively evaluate this person, what kind of value would he give to him? Based purely on the person's merits. Obviously, when you are in a relationship, then you do tend to give an exaggerated value, which is all right. It's part of being human. But if the fact is that the general audience is going to accord a value of 5 to that person, whereas in your eyes, in your behavior, the value is 500, then you must know that things are wrong. I mean, it's berserk rather. That's one thing. Second thing is, has the thought of the other started meaning fear or greed, temptation or apprehension to you? Has the other started dominating your mind? You have to ask this, whether your mental space has been colonized, and you have to guard against it. Right? It is not right, even if it appears sweet and not merely acceptable, but actually welcome in initial stages of the relationship. It is something very unhealthy. If somebody has started encroaching upon your mental space, if somebody has really started affecting the way you go about your day-to-day activities, the other person has started showing up his presence even where he should not be, then you should know that the relationship is not going in a healthy way. And you should know where to draw the line. Similarly, you have to see whether a particular angle of domination is creeping into the relationship. In the name of care or concern, has the other started becoming dominating or just a little too much upon you? Even without giving an explicit consent, have you become accountable, answerable? If these things have started happening, then you should just stand up and say something is not quite right here. Basically, you have to guard against neurosis. Our unhealthy tendencies show up in the most pronounced way in our relationships, especially if the relationship has a romantic or a sexual character. Then all the garbage that otherwise keeps lying hidden within, it just, and we keep it hidden, but when the relationship assumes an intimate character, then all the garbage just shows up in all its crudeness and with all the stink. And so it's not really difficult to know when and whether a relationship is going foul. You will know that. It's just that we lack the courage, the integrity to act on what we already know.
To walk out.
You don't always need an absolutist reaction. That if you know that the relationship is growing up little upon you, then you call it off or walk out. You don't always need to walk out. Obviously, the first response has to be to try to modify the relationship, to bring it back to healthy contours.